I was listening to an EDC set the other day and I heard a really cool trick done with the chords in quite a few of the songs. The trick I'm about to show you is insanely important when it comes to keeping your chords interesting, and more importantly, the arrangement and composition of your song interesting and fun and exciting. Something I want you to remember about this video is that when you're making a song, it's not just about a nice set of chords. Your job as an electronic music songwriter is to keep the chords interesting. So yes, you can come up with some amazing chords, but keeping them interesting is your ultimate goal. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do that. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to build a set of chords, and then I'm going to show you how to make them memorable and ultimately not boring. And all I want from you in return is to stick around for the entire duration of this video to ensure that you could soak up every piece of information that I have for you in this video. And I can truly guarantee that if you do that, your chord game will become at least 20% better than it was before you watch this video. Alright, I'm going to write a set of chords here, and the sound that I'm going to use sounds like this. And it's just a little pad sound that I made with XFER Serum. And we're going to write a D, an E minor, and a G chord. I'm just going to go to D, E minor. And once I have my bass notes, I'm just going to copy these bass notes and put them 7 semitones above them. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy those, Command R, and then put them in the middle of each of these notes. The final step to making these chords not cheesy, because you guys know I do not like cheesy chords, is I take just a couple of these notes and revoice them like that. So now they're really nice and they're not as cheesy as they were before. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to duplicate all the way up to the drop. So you can see right here now we have 8 rounds of the same chord progression. That's doomed to get boring if you don't do the right things to keep them interesting. So what I like to do with chords right after I write them is, instead of writing a melody or a bass line or drums, what I like to do is just concentrate on them and give them enough support that they need, and then move on to another instrument. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make another set of chords where I'm going to make them sound a bit different than the chords we have here, and then I'm going to do this really cool morphing trick that'll help those chords evolve or develop from one section of song to the next section of the song. So I have another sound here that I'm going to use as a support chord, and it sounds like that. It's just a normal little electronic pluck. So I'm going to turn an ARP on so that it starts ARPing like that and triggering chords on its own without me having to press a million buttons to make that happen. So I'm going to copy our original chords and paste them. But I'm not going to leave them like that. I'm actually going to take these new chords, put them up an octave, and I'm also going to extend them like that. So then we get this sound. Now we have these chords just for the intro, and they can stand alone on the intro. But when we get to the break, we can bring them in there. So watch what this sounds like. Here's the intro. And then when we get to here, I'll show you what that sounds like. So that's like a nice little transition, as you could hear, but it's still not that interesting if I play the chords alone. When you have a fundamental instrument like chords, you want them to be able to stand alone. You want them to be that interesting. So what I did is I took these chords and I pasted them down here. So now these chords run the entire duration of the intro of the song, which is the first 16 bars here, or 8 bars. Yeah, it's 8 bars. And then goes into the break here. So watch what I'm going to do with these chords. I'm going to turn on the automation, come into Serum, and I'm going to automate the mix knob of this reverb. And then in time, it's going to morph into the dry signal. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it work its way in. I'm just going to automate this so it starts from nothing and then works its way in. Now that I have that automation done and you didn't hear it yet, I want you to listen to how these chords start with this very simple chord sound, but then this sound kind of morphs in and then takes over when we get to the break, and then that melody starts and it gets really, really beautiful to listen to. Let's go ahead and start this. So you can kind of hear, these would get really static and boring if there was nothing supporting them and making them interesting and keeping them interesting over time. But I thought that was a really, really valuable trick to show you guys. And if you would like to learn more about chord writing, sound design, song arrangement, and composition, come join me in the EDM Bootcamp. I have a link for you at the top of the description, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.